Once in a small, forgotten village nestled deep within a misty valley, there lived a young girl named Ilara. She was the daughter of a humble woodcutter and a seamstress. Life had never been easy for Ilara. Her clothes were threadbare, her shoes worn, and her belly often ached with hunger. Despite her poverty, Ilara had a heart full of dreams. She believed that one day, her life would change for the better. Every morning before dawn, Ilara would rise early to gather kindling in the forest. Her tiny hands would tremble from the cold as she carefully collected twigs and branches. It was a small task, but it was all she could do to help her family. The villagers often saw her trudging through the muddy streets, a heavy bundle of wood strapped to her back, and pitied her. They whispered about the poor girl with the big, bright eyes filled with hope. One day, while searching for wood in the deepest part of the forest, Ilara stumbled upon an ancient, twisted tree. Its bark was silver, shimmering faintly in the dim light. She had never seen a tree like it before. Curiosity piqued. She approached and noticed a small door carved into its base. Though fearful, Ilara couldn't resist the urge to open it. Inside, she found a glowing stone, pulsating softly with warmth and light. Ilara took the stone in her hands, and immediately, the world around her transformed. The barren forest was suddenly alive with colors she had never imagined: vivid greens, blues, and golds. Flowers bloomed at her feet, and birds with feathers like rainbows sang above her. As she looked around in awe, an old woman appeared, her face kind and eyes sparkling with wisdom. "Ilara," the old woman said softly, "you have discovered the heart of the forest. It is a gift given only to those with pure hearts and selfless souls. This stone has the power to grant you one wish. Choose wisely." Ilara's mind raced. She thought of asking for riches, for a grand house, or even a feast to fill her family's empty bellies. But then she remembered the village, with its crumbling cottages and hungry children. She remembered the tired faces of her parents, who worked tirelessly just to keep a roof over their heads. With trembling lips, Ilara spoke, "I wish for the well-being of my village. Let there be food for the hungry, warmth for the cold, and hope for everyone." The old woman smiled, and with a wave of her hand, the stone vanished. The forest around them shimmered and returned to its ordinary state. But something had changed. Ilara felt a warmth in her chest, a deep satisfaction she had never known before. When she returned to the village, she was met with astonishment. The once dreary streets were now filled with life. Fields that had been barren for years were lush with crops. The houses, once dilapidated, stood strong and proud. The villagers were no longer pale and hungry, but full of energy and joy. They gathered around Ilara, showering her with thanks and blessings, but she simply smiled, knowing that she had done what was right. Years passed, and Ilara grew into a wise and beloved woman. Though she remained humble and never sought wealth for herself, she was rich in love and friendship. The village thrived under her care, and the story of the poor girl who saved them all was passed down through generations. Ilara never forgot the heart of the forest, and though she never saw the old woman again, she felt her presence in the whisper of the wind and the rustle of leaves. The girl who once had nothing became a symbol of hope, proving that even the poorest among us have the power to change the world with a single, selfless wish.